Hey guys, Hooked to Clash here, and today I've got an amazing video for all of you. BuMm from Alternate.Attax agreed to sit down for an interview where we talked about everything Clash of Clans, Worlds, Legends League, the meta, you name it, we talked about it. Now, we did have a few hiccups with the interview. Unfortunately, you will actually hear some echoes of my voice throughout. Discord audio wasn't really being our friend. Thankfully, BuMm's audio was fine. You won't hear an echo with that. So just listen to him and not to me. I know you all do it anyway. And the second thing is there was a bit of lag with the video. Not a lot we can do about that. I live all the way down here in the Upside Down land and he lives in Europe. So aside from Discord audio and Discord video kind of letting us down, I hope you enjoyed the interview. The content is amazing and I had lots of fun sitting down with him. So let's get straight into the interview and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, YouTube, I've got an awesome video for you here today. On the call with me, as you can see here, we've got BuMm, who recently got a golden ticket at the World Championship qualifier. BuMm, welcome to the interview. Thank you for taking this, by the way.
Hello guys, and thank you Hooked for inviting me. Happy to have an interview with you.
So obviously most of the time you get these style of interviews, the first question everyone asks is, why did you get into Clash of Clans? So I'm going to do something different today. We're going to ask you instead, if you were a troop in Clash of Clans, what troop would you be?
Okay, good question. I'm never thinking about it, but yeah, to go. I would probably say I am a wall breaker, just because I like to smash something, completely, and wall breakers are smashing walls.
True, the wall breakers are very good at that. If it makes you feel better, I thought about this yesterday and I couldn't really come up with my own answer. I struggled a little bit as well. I came up with the minion, but I can't really quite figure out how. Anyways, we should just get into the main thing at the moment, which was the golden ticket that you guys got on the weekend. Describe to us what the week of prep is like before you go into one of those main qualifiers.
Yeah, I guess our preparation starts once we get qualified for the multi-qualifiers. So otherwise our motivation would be not so high. So we only had this time, other than last year, only 5 to 6 days to prepare. Actually, even less, maybe 4 days to prepare. To have a really good preparation, you have to know the opponent first. So what we are doing is focusing our first and second opponent, analyzing the opponent's attack strategies, and how they think, and also in defense-wise, whether they're using anti-2 or anti-3 bases. So we know exactly what we are looking at when we are matching. So when we are testing bases, we do build bases without having any thoughts, and then once we have the base, we are testing them. To predict what the opponents, because we know them, because we analyze them, how they would attack, and then we tweak against these attacks.
So that was actually going to be my next question. So you do build bases for specific opponents then?
Exactly. But it's not like people actually ask whether the base builder already building bases with knowing, okay, I have to build now against MCS. It's not like that, because that is kind of nearly impossible to do that. So we are building a base and then we are testing against specific opponents. That's the case.
Fair enough. My main question is, do you actually enjoy that week of prep? Obviously you're a pro Clash of Clans player, but do you enjoy doing that, or is it more of a chore for you guys?
I think we especially our team is at a point where we do not enjoy it at all, because this is actually a hard work. We also had a discussion within our team, and somebody said attacking is the fun of the game, and preparing and defending is the hard work of the game. And I would agree completely with that. Nobody wants to tweak, nobody wants to test, and nobody actually wants to build. This is not really fun. But yeah, this is something which we have to do.
Yeah, it's part of Clash of Clans, isn't it? Offense and defense. My next, on from that, what would then be more satisfying to you? Getting a clutch triple in a war, or getting a defense? Obviously, because defenses are so much harder than triples at the moment. What's more satisfying?
Satisfying. Oof. Like I would probably say that in the current meta, even though the meta is more difficult than the previous one, um, like like defending is more satisfying, just because yeah, the defense feels more better. Like when we are tripling in offense, it's like still like kind of like, oh yeah, well, good job. Like, nothing more. It's not like, yeah, I tripled. It's just, yeah, you did your job.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
defending, like defenses means for us that we kind of are going, like having a lead already.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I tend to agree as well. Do you build bases actually? I don't know the answer to that.
Uh, no, like I built bases for Legend League. This is completely different than, I mean, meanwhile, I would say the basis between Legend Leagues and War League, War is not so much difference because we see so many NT2s, two bases now. But I am building a lot of Legend bases, but not really for War.
Fair enough. So obviously the Worlds had a different format this year at the qualifier. Did you like the format? Was it better than last year's one?
Um, Like, yeah, obviously, I have to answer this as a comparison to last year, and I would say in the comparison, I liked it more, just because we now have like we only have to play 1 or 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, like depends on your Clan War League's performance. So even though it's very stressful on that day, it's just one day and you're done. This
Yeah.
is one thing, and the second thing is that we now have I would say, like really, the teams who get to the multi-qualifier, they also really deserved it because they have no chance, or at least very small chance of somehow cheating. It was a big problem last year that there was like always 3 or 4 clans who, um, yeah, get to the multi-qualifier by cheating, and this is not the case anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do like the fact that it's all from like the ESL event that teams are getting in. So I'm glad to hear that you guys feel the same about that. In terms of just from specifically from the weekend, when did you know you'd won from the
Uh,
golden ticket? Sorry.
like when did we know that we won?
Yeah.
What again?
Yeah, so like at what point during the match where you're like, yeah, we've got this in the bag, we're going to beat MCES
Okay.
here?
Okay, like I guess like it was like in the third or fifth attack from MCS that they failed. That we knew, okay, now we only need a 1 star or a 2 star at the last attack. That's when we knew, okay, we got the golden ticket.
No, yeah, yet again, congratulations on that. One last thing about Worlds. If you had to put, which teams do you think are going to be joining you at the Worlds at the end of the year? If you had to guess.
I mean, there are some obvious choices. I would say the obvious choices would be MCS and Queen Walkers. I do think that they both teams will make it through one of the qualifiers. I also hope that Tribe Gaming will also make it. Just because we have good friends over there. They're now a complete German team. Tribe Gaming, and then there are like so many Asian clans like Vatang and Nishang Dance. No, they are like AS Monster.
Yeah.
Like those two teams, obviously. And I hope that Marcus Gaming, who really unfortunately got disqualified this time again, that they somehow have a stable internet and also makes it.
Yeah, no, I felt really bad for that. It kind of messed with the bracket as well on the weekend. So I hope Marcos Gaming comes back because they looked really good. Some of their bases were very, very ugly.
Yeah, the defenses were like, I mean, we were kind of happy that we didn't face them at the end. Um, yeah, because their bases seemed very good.
Yeah, no, I agree on that. Now, one thing I'd like to do with you today, BuMm, is a tier list. So if you can see on the screen I've shared with you on Discord now, we've got, I believe, the 12 most popular strategies in Clash at the moment. If you want to add some, let me know. But I want to get your opinion on each of these strategies because obviously a lot of the players out there want to know what you guys think of these strategies, which ones they should be focusing their time on and which ones they should probably give up on. So you understand how a tier list works, yeah?
Yes, I know, yeah. But I never did it before, so I'm not 100% sure whether I'm good at it, but I will try.
Yeah. Well, if you want to pick one, let me know. Otherwise, I'm happy to just go from the top and go around on the list I've got here.
Yeah, it's also fine for me.
So, Blizzard Dragons. What do you think of Blizzard Dragons at the moment in the meta?
Blizzard Dragon is obviously one choice, but in my opinion, not as strong as, let's say, comparable to Blizzard Lalo,
Yeah.
because Blizzard Dragon, in my opinion, is some strategy which people use this because, okay, like don't take it wrong, but because they lack of ability to get a safe 2-star on a ring base, for example.
Yeah.
Or it's also a very easy strategy, but they're still very strong. I would probably put them at tier, what there is, okay, S.
So
Okay,
S,
can
A,
you?
B, C, D.
Okay, I would take them as tier B.
Fair enough. And feel free to be brutal on this because obviously a lot of these strategies are quite strong. So if you don't rate it, feel free to put it low. So Zap
Okay, all right.
Lalo as the next one.
Ooh, okay, Zep Lalo. Also, you guys have to know that it's really hard to decide on these strategies because Zep Lalo, for example, is a really good example where I can say it's pretty good in war in wars because you have yeah, a lot of time to plan with the strategy, like what to zap and where exactly can I do my suicide. In war, I would say it's still very, very strong, and those people who are doing it, they're really skilled and also successfully getting 3-stars, for example, Nick from Space Station. But on the other hand, on Legend League, nobody is using Zeplalo just because it's not really flexible and without any planning time, and also like adjusting you like the amount of zaps you have, it's not really strong. That's why I would probably put them also at tier B, just because they're strong in war, but really, really weak in Legend League.
Fair enough. No, I agree with you there. Next one, Super Witches.
Oh, Super Witches. Ooh, okay, Super Witches. Oh, okay. Okay, Super Witches. Also, if Super Witches also like a Zap Lalo, it can be very, very strong, but it can be also very, very weak. The problem with
Yeah.
Super Witches also they are not really versatile. You can only have like a straight like zap something and then like straight go into the core. This is like how Super Witches works. The advantage from them is okay, they're never dying, kinda if you're not doing anything wrong. Um, uh, I would still see, like, let's say in Legend League, they're like kind of completely garbage. And if somebody is using Super Witches against us, for example, against alternate bases in war, I am kind of also more relieved that this can be a more rather triple than a rather fail than a triple. This is
Yeah.
why I would put them actually at a tier C. Tier C, I mean, obviously you can still triple, but in comparison to other strategies, in my opinion, they are not as strong anymore.
Yeah. Fair enough. Sorry. There we are. No, I agree on that. So you'd say P.E.K.K.A Smash is better than Super Witches then, just as the direct
Yes.
comparison? Yeah.
Yes, I do think the P.E.K.K.A is much better, yes.
Well, now that we talked about that, well, we'll bring up P.E.K.K.A Smash. So where would you have
Okay.
P.E.K.K.A Smash?
Okay, I'm right now thinking between whether it's S tier or A tier. Okay, I think I have to approach it like this. Obviously, we have to think about a really good player who can kind of master the game. And in right hands, I mean, obviously there are like few people in, for example, from China who is using P.E.K.K.A Smash for ages. And if they would use P.E.K.K.A Smash, they are kind of smashing Legend League. They're also smashing in wars still, even though the ring base kind of gave them like a hard time at some point. But now they also know how to break them down.
Yeah.
So I would probably say that P.E.K.K.A Smash is S tier because they're so strong, and the biggest advantage is they are so versatile.
No, I would agree with you on that one. P.E.K.K.A Smash OP. And I think it's one of the better, like it's a bit easier to learn than Lalo, particularly for like new players.
That's also true, yes.
Speaking of Lalo, one of the toughest armies in the game. What do you think of Sui Lalo at Town Hall 14?
Ooh, Okay, Sui Lalo. Okay, Sui Lalo is a really, I would really say that Sui Lalo is the most difficult strategy in the game. That not even, I mean, Yo-Yo 23 is, from my perspective, one of the best, or maybe the best Sui Lalo player in the game. But still, he also puts a lot of practice into it. For example, he struggled a lot against these ring bases when they came out, when the poison was now changed. But now he knows how to do it. So actually, for everyone, it takes a lot of practice. But once you really master it, then you can really smash any attack, any bases. Like doesn't matter whether it's a legend base or like a war base. This is why I would put them as S tier, but in right hands. Or is that actually A tier because it has to be really, it's so difficult. What
So
do you
you
think?
have you yeah, it's so hard to do. Only so few people can do it consistently. That's the big thing. Like I've
Yes.
personally tried it a fair bit, and some of the time you look like the best player in the world, but then some of the time you get like a low percent two star. I'd probably have it in A, but I know you
Okay,
obviously have first
okay,
hand
I agree.
experience with
Okay,
Yo-Yo.
let's say it's A tier. I agree. Just because there are maybe only a handful of people who could use this strategy as a S tier.
Yeah,
Okay.
but those
Okay.
people that use it are seriously good. Obviously, Yo-Yo's very good at the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. Exactly.
Inferno drags. I'm very
Ooh,
interested to see what you say here.
Inferno Dragons. Inferno Dragons is oof. Um, like right now in the current meta, I would say Inferno Dragons is also very base dependent. Um, we really have to have like a good pathing and like also good hero value. But at bases where you can use it or where you can find that you can use it, they are really very strong. This is why I would put them in A tier. They used to be S tier one meta ago, but now they are kind of like more squishy against the like multi-inferno. And there's also a reason why people stopped using Infinite Dragons in Legend League, just because they have a better choice now with E-Dragons.
Yeah, I agree. That sixth multi being at Town Hall 14 is so strong against the Inferno Dragons. This one, probably my favorite army, so I'm really interested to see what you do. Dragbat.
Oh, Dragbats. Okay. Dragbats is also very strong. I feel like I once saw a statistic from someone who like summarized the statistics from like the Motic qualifier or so, and the hit rate from Dragbat was quite very high. I'm not sure, maybe the highest or so, even though not so many people used it. But the people who used Dragbat, they most of the time tripled, I think. And also, I feel like if you can, if you're using trackpad, then yeah, it's really strong. And this why I would say it's maybe tier A also. The reason why they are not tier S is because you cannot force trackpad on every base. I feel like if you have like splash damage, which you cannot like freeze together, then yeah, you rather do not trackpad.
I agree with that. Particularly with many triple multi bases, it makes it really hard and you have to get creative with your heroes. So, yeah, I agree with that. Next one's kind of an army we haven't seen a lot until recently. I saw M2M use it a lot in the pre qualifier, which is I've lumped it together Mass Dragons or Zap Dragons.
Oh, Mass Dragons, Zap Dragons. Okay. Okay, compare like I mean we have to compare this with Blizzard Dragon. Yeah, because basically the idea of the strategy is the same. Um, and I feel like Zap Dragon is like underwhelming compared to Blizzard Dragon, I feel like, because you're like kind of using similar amount of spells. Okay, obviously you have then a siege machine afterwards still, but you get still a lot less from the value you invest. And I would say that Zap Lalo should be one tier below than Blizzard Dragon. So what was Blizzard Dragon before? It was B, I said, right?
Yeah, so you want Mass or Zap Dragons in C tier then?
Yeah, C tier then.
Yeah, I agree with that. Next one. Now, this one's going to be one of the more interesting ones. E-dragons. We've got four left,
E-dragons.
by the way.
Okay, E-dragons, I feel like in Legend League, they are like, in Legend League alone, they are S tier, just because we face so many compact bases, because they are like kind of very good against hybrid, against, for example, Suilalo and so on. This is why they're dominating also in Legend League. In Wars, we see them less, just because we have now planning time. And if you have planning time, you rather tend not to use E-dragons because they're kind of more random and also not so reliable, at least from our eyes. There are, for example, people who are using E-dragons all the time, and they just force them also in war and also triple pretty a lot. But that's very rare. I would put them currently at A tier. It's not S tier, just because they're also very base dependent, but they're so strong. Their hit rate is very, very high.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I tend to agree with you there. Next army, I believe it's your Legends League army, Blizz Lalo.
Bliss Lalo, okay. Um, Yeah, Bliss Lalo obviously also very, very strong from hit rate rise, not only, but also kind of from, it is versatile. I mean, obviously you always start with the Blizzard, but it is not, you can Blizzard really a lot of different things on a base. So you can, if you're clever enough, not fall into a tornado trap or like like Black Man's trap.
I know the
Or
feeling.
now, yeah, and now you also have like all the Blizzard player also know how to break down a ring base. So this is a good thing. And it's very, very strong. I would put them at A tier again. They are not S tier. Why? Because the chances of falling into a trap is still very, very high. Also, especially in a war, it feels like, oh, this is probably not trap, but one black mine in a really wrong, like weird spot, and maybe your blimp doesn't make it. And just because of this, it's A tier.
Yeah. The thing I like about Blizz Lalo is you don't have to Blizzard the Town Hall, whereas with like Blizzard Dragons, you have to Blizzard the Town Hall unless it's like an anti 2. But particularly on the
Yeah,
anti
that's true.
3s with Blizz Drags, you've got to go for the Town Hall. So Blizz Lalo is just tougher to bait. So I agree with that a lot. Next one, Hybrid.
Oh, hybrid. Okay, I guess hybrid is like currently very, very weak. Yeah, I mean the problem is you're also very limited to how you can hybrid, because you cannot hybrid into the tunnel. You can, but if you do it, then the possibility of tripling is not that high anymore. And also we have still a lot of spring traps. So because the base builders uses the spring trap still against hybrid, or at least against that, because there's nothing else to defend against. This is why I would put them. Also, the hit rate of my hybrid is not that high. I would probably put them at, oof, is it C or D? Okay, I would put them at D tier, at the lowest tier, because,
Ooh,
yeah,
that's interesting. I have seen it still work when you're able to queen charge the town hall, but yeah, hybrid went from the most flexible army at town hall 13 to the least flexible army at town hall 14. It's kind of fascinating.
yeah,
And the last one, which I assume you're going to put this very high up, is Queen Charge Lalo.
yeah. Okay, Queen Josh Lalo, yes, it is. I'm right now debating whether it's S or A tier, but yeah, right now I'm quickly saying that it's S tier, the highest tier. Why is that? Because it's just a combination of the strongest ground attack, which is like Queen Charge, and with a backend strategy, which is the strongest, which is the Lalo. The thing is that the good thing is you cannot bait a Queen Charge, at least very, very hard to bait it. With a lot of a lot of black mines and whatever you can do against a Queen Charge player who is very, very good, you can always go around it by using a lot of Cocoloons. So the Queen will get what the attacker wants to get, which is normally the Town Hall. And backend, you can also not defend against a Lalo player if you have a really good warning ability and so on. Queen Judge Lalo, if the attacker is very good, you cannot defend him. We saw Bernal being the first global player last season. Obviously, he's one of the best player, but also the strategy itself, Queen Charlo, is so strong.
If you had to pick one as the strongest army in the game, would it be P.E.K.K.A Smash or Queen Charge Lalo? They're your two S tier strategies.
Oh. Oh. Oof. Um, okay, I would probably say a little bit Queen Charge Lalo is higher. Just because there are actually bases with P.E.K.K.A Smash where you can really struggle with. Whereas on Queen Charge Lalo, I think um, yeah, I think Queen you can really Queen Charge anything. And also Lalo back at any base like any base which is left, you can also Lalo over. I
Yeah.
think Queen Charge Lalo is a little bit stronger.
There you go, everyone. That is BuMm's tier list for you all. So maybe you should take a few tips from that. I've only got a few more questions for you, BuMm. Um, well, now that we've talked about the tier list, are you happy with the meta at the moment? Is there anything you'd like to see? Maybe a new mechanic that you'd like to see in Clash of Clans? Is there anything you'd like to see changed to the meta, essentially?
Yeah. The problem is that small changes the meta completely. Like the small changes have a big impact, and I'm just afraid that if that happens, like if small changes also are made during mate, then that the meta changes drastically to a worse situation. Like right now, I'm very satisfied with how the meta is. I mean, for a long time, we haven't seen that defenses kind of makes so much impact also to like leading to a fail. Previously, it was like the attacker has to be like very, let's say not stupid, but we had to do like really big mistake to fail. Now it's you can also defend, so I really like about that. One thing which I think, which I was always thinking the recent weeks, which I would wish to addition is that I want to have like um, defense a defensive clan castle troop, which is actually effective against, let's say, air like or spam attacks, like where we can say, oh, this is a damage troop which is pretty good. And right now we only have these tanking troops like Hound or ice golems in the clan castle, which is obviously very good, well working against suicides or let's say P.E.K.K.A Smash or so.
Yeah.
But if you want to defend, let's say, mass dragon attack, or I want to defend against Inferno Dragons or E-Dragons. Obviously, these hounds only make sense if the heroes is luring the CC, which is not always the case. But if they have to, like for example, like Baby Dragon coming out against E-Dragons, they do nothing. Headhunters also do nothing. Witches do nothing. Whatever. So I want to see like a damage making troop, which is actually really worth it to have in a clan castle.
Fair enough. I kind of like that. Um, my personal change would be making Valks relevant. I feel we've got so many compact bases at the moment. It actually
Yeah.
makes sense for Valks to be useful, but they can't do anything. I've actually played around with them a fair bit, but they're just not tanky enough. They're close if you know what you're doing, but I think it'd be kind of cool if you had like an option like Valks on those like really compact anti two bases.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think, one of the things which for sure Supercell wants to do. But the thing is, I mean, we've seen from the, let's say, the recent 10 updates, Valkyries was for sure one of the troop which always got buffed. Like, but at the end, the problem is their mechanic. The mechanic and how they work is the problem, not the stats.
Yeah.
So if you want them to do being relevant, then the stats have to be like crazy high, and at some point they are just too OP. It's either they're completely broken or they're useless. That's my opinion about Valkyries.
Fair enough. No, I agree with that. Um, so I won't keep you too much longer. Just one little thing that we haven't touched on yet. Are you satisfied with how Legends League is at the moment? Obviously, it's filled with much more competitive players, or is there some other change that you'd like to see made to Legends League?
Ooh, I never thought about any changes, but currently I'm very satisfied how it goes because I mean, Supercell is coming with some ban waves, which scares the people not to do like like weird stuff, like by cheating or win trading, whatever. So they're scares us off, and this is why we also see a lot of competitive players now saying, okay, it makes now more sense to compete. I really like to see like a lot of familiar faces on the top rankings. Right now, I'm pretty satisfied with Legend League how it is.
Fair enough. And my last question, just generally, is there any tips or tricks you'd like to give people that are just entering the competitive scene? So people new to competitive Clash of Clans, maybe they saw the Worlds and they want to sign up for it. Have you got any tips and tricks for like new people to the scene?
Yeah, I mean, how to compete. Okay, I guess like very important. Try to continue playing Legend League, even though people might think, oh, is like this is completely useless, but it's not. I mean, one of the key reasons why we, for example, won our gold ticket is because of Legend League and the knowledge about it. And the second thing which I would give them is like really, if once you fail, try to watch over them as a replay and find out why you failed and what was your mistake, and to not to do it again next time.
Fair enough. Well, that's all from me. Thanks for coming on, BuMm. I know I kept you a little longer than I was planning to, but I hope you enjoyed that and I really liked your insight today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, BuMm. Okay, that's all we had for you today. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed interviewing BuMm. He was amazing to talk to. Let me know down in the comments below, A, if you enjoyed that. B, would you like to see this content more? And C, who would you like to see me interview? Obviously, they have to say yes, but I do have a few contacts in the scene. So if there's some that you'd like to see undergo a similar interview, let me know down below because I had heaps of fun today. Anyways, that's it from me. If you enjoyed this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. You know I love the support you guys give, and hopefully I see some of you soon.